Okay, everyone. So let us discuss the point, which is practical number 3, which says write down the program which will display the error by common file for all the general pages. What does it mean? What does it mean? You have to develop a project where if any page in your project is getting the error, it is generating the error, we will take user over there. Fine. Do you recall that in JSP we have discussed about page property? Do you recall that? For the JSP we have gone through the page property. What is page property? Page directive, and what are the properties? Can you see here? We discussed about JSP page directive. This was very first discussion of your JSP chapter. And we say the page directive is directs your JSP translator how to translate this page. And there are two properties which are dealing with the error. Though we discussed the time, but from that two, which is error page and is error page. These are the properties which deals with the error. Fine, right? What our problem statement says? Problem statement says write a JSP program which will display error by common file for all the general pages. So for anywhere if the errors is occurring, we will make it a general page. In that general page, we will handle all the errors. Fine. Now, look at here. What I'm trying to do is, I will, we know that when we have two numbers taken from the user, we can have divide by zero exception. If you are doing the division, the general thing is you should have denominator. You should have denominator as your any valid number. You cannot go with the ABCD, because if you are going with the ABCD, it will create problem in the division. As well, when I'm going through the division, the denominator should not be 0, otherwise it will give me divide by 0 error, and it should be any valid number, otherwise it will give me number exception. Do you recall that? Fine. So what I have done is I created a JSP page where I have taken form action main.jsp. We are saying input type equal to text, number 2 input type equal to text, and1 and and2 are the variables which will hold the values entered by student entered by user in this text box. When user clicks on the submit button, we are taking user to main.jsp. In main.jsp, I will read these two with the help of request.get parameter, and as we want to do the division, which is mathematical operation, so we require the conversion, that is integer.parse int. Now I'm doing the division, integer c is equal to a divided by b, and we are displaying the answer of division. This scenario will be totally fine if I am entering the numbers, the input in the numbers as well. The denominator is not 0. In that case, the sequential execution will happen, line by line execution of this JSP script will happen, and we'll get the answer of division. For example, let us see that. I'm at index.html. I'm trying to run this project, right? And it is giving me some output like this. Number 1 and number 2. So if I'm saying 20 and 4, 5. So it is 4, right? If I'm saying 10 and 2, it will give me 5, right? So that's totally a normal scenario. But think about if user enters 0, or user has entered the denominator as a valid number and number 1 something like this. What will happen? What will happen? Error, or we call it as a runtime exception. Number format exception. Exception is number format exception. If the number is not a entered, input is not a number. And if the denominator is 0, we'll have the exception, arithmetic exception, divide by 0 exception. So now how this is coming is, I have generated a common page for all the errors. So when we are going to main.jsp, this is index.html. When we are going to main.jsp, we said in main.jsp, error page is equal to, we are setting the property. This is page directive. We said error page is equal to error.jsp.jsp. What does it mean? If any error occurs in this page, we will take it to error JSP, right? Now, in this is normal scenario, so it will not go there. It will give you the answer of division. But if some exception is there, it will go to the error page.jsp. Now, in error page.jsp, we are setting one more property of the page. That is error page true? Is error page true? This is my error.jsp.jsp page. Now, when I'm saying is error page true, it means that my error.jsp page is holding the script which will handle with the exception. It is not for business logic. What is the business logic? Business logic is reading two numbers, request.get parameter, converting into the integer.parseInt, applying the arithmetic expression, division is equal to a divided by b, and printing the answer variable division. This is business logic, right? But I'm saying that this page is error page property is true. So this page is not for the business logic, it is for error handling. So we're giving a simple message, sorry, an exception occurred, right? And we are saying exception is, we are printing an expression, we are using an expression scripting element, and we are putting the implicit object exception. Implicit object exception. So exception will hold or it will give you the error message, and that's what you have seen in the outcome, right? When number format exception or divide by zero exception. So exception is, and this is coming from implicit object. Fine, everybody, those who are online, are you clear with the fact now? Okay, everyone, so this is my practical number 3. Now we are going ahead with practical number 4. Anyway, so we are moving to the practical number 4, which says database access through the JSP. Now, everybody, those who are available here can pay the attention, because this is what you need to implement in your project, right? JSP database access. How we connect our Java application with database? Any idea? How we connect our Java application with the database? Can anyone tell me? We have to perform the 5 steps. And what is JDBC? You can see here. Your Java application, which getting connected to relational database, getting connected to your relational database using your JDBC driver. So if I want to connect this, we have to go with the library addition. We can use MySQL connector jar. Fine. Now we have to perform 5 steps to achieve the connectivity. This is unit number 2, which we have discussed long back, right? You can see here, we have 5 steps to connect our Java application with our database. Step number 1, Step number 1, load or register the driver. Step number 2, create the connection. Step number 3, create the statement. Step number 4, execute query. And step number 5, close the connection. Now, register driver can happen with the help of the code line class.forename. You will write class.forename and you will mention the driver. We are writing com.jdbc.mysql.d capital driver. Step number 2 can happen with the help of driver manager.get connection. And we are mentioning the URL SCP JDBC :mysql / localhost port number / database name, comma, second argument root, which is your username, and third argument we are writing null because in MySQL we don't have password. This entire setup is held by the object connection. Next, you are writing the statement. Now, this depends on the functionality. If you want to make the functionality which is forming through the static query. For example, if your AJP's project is online shopping or book my show, or can you tell me your project name? Product display, music display, whatever is there. What you will do is in the one page you will display all the musics available in the table. So for that, which query you want? Select star from the table name. Now select star from the table name is entirely the static query, and static query do not have any part coming from the user. So when we have static query, we will use the statement object. But suppose you want to add a new song, or you want to add a new product, or if you are making the bike project, you want to add a new bike details. In that case, what you will do is you will take the input from the user. In the case of bike, you will take bike, model number, price, and so on. In the case of music, you will say title of the song, description, composer name, right, and type of song. Could be sad, happy, or dancing, or bhangra, Punjabi, whatever you want, right? In the case of product of spices, you will give the product name, you will take the type of spice, description, and price if you are giving. So all these are the input. And when you are taking this input, we know that add product is about the insert query. So if it is insert query, the query will be formed by taking certain portion of the query from the user side. Insert into table name, parenthesis, column, separated column names, and you are writing values, and these values are the value coming from the text box. Add product, add song.html. And from that, user is entering and we are reading those values with the help of request.get parameter. So this you want to set in your prepared statement. So we'll take the question marks. Do you recall that? Question marks. And ultimately, we will read the text box values and will form the query runtime. So when you are performing this operation, the query is not static. It is getting generated runtime. Whatever user enters, based on that, we will provide the values. So in that case, instead of a statement, you have to go with the prepared statement. Clear? You have to go with the prepared statement. Now, step number 4, to execute the query. Query could be of two major way we can execute. Either it will be the DQL query. DQL is select query. Select or select with where and all. It could be static or dynamic, doesn't matter, but ultimately it's a select query. Whenever you have select query, you can execute it with the help of execute query method, which will return you the result set, and you can access that result set using the while loop. But suppose you have DML query, add product, add bike, add song is an insert query. Somebody wants to delete, we don't want. In that case, delete from table name where primary key value equal to question mark, the one which user has entered. In that case, what you can do is you can delete that, or you can perform that DML queries, which could be either insert, update, or delete with the help of execute update method. And execute update method returns you an integer value. And based on that integer value, you can check out whether your query is valid or not. So in execute query, we have 3 options, but we are focusing on 2. We will use execute query method if we have select operation. And we'll use execute update method if we have insert, update, or delete. Is it clear? Right? And the step number 5 is close the connection. Now look at here. What I have over here is I have kept an student information system where I have taken, just a second, let me open that. Look at my project. I'm running first the project and then we'll discuss about the functionalities. So you can see here, I have two options. This is my index.html. View all students. When I click here, it will read the table students and it will read out whatever are the details available in students table. Fine, right? So in MySQL, I have a database which is named as MU. In MU database, I have a students table, right? And that students table is having certain values. You can see there are two records right now, right? There are two records. I can insert more. Now I have three records. The last ID is 31. Now, when I click on view all students, it will perform the 5 JDBC steps, and it is as it is select star from the student with a static query, we have to use the statement object. So can you see this? Right? This is coming from select star. Now, when I want to delete these students, now there are two scenarios. See, I have the students ID 8, 20, and 31 in the database. When I say delete student, I don't want to delete entire table. I want to delete one record. So when I say delete student, it is asking me enter student ID. Suppose I'm entering 1. I'm entering 1. What it says? Problem in delete, please re-enter the student ID because student ID 1 is not there. So if such is the case, when you are as an admin trying to delete a bike detail or a song detail or a product detail, you should ask the product ID. And you can give the message, product is not available for deletion, kindly check the product ID. And you can redirect back user. Suppose I'm having 31, which is last inserted record. I click on delete. What it says? Record deleted successfully, and it is showing me now available IDs. So here you can see my record number 31 is there. I deleted, I'm refreshing. Can you see it is deleted from the database also? Fine. Delete from table where student ID is equal to value of text box. Student ID is equal to value of text box. This is static or dynamic? Dynamic. If it is dynamic, which statement we will use? Prepare state. Fine. So now let us see the code. So this is my index.html where I have created a two hyperlink, view all and delete student.jsp. So first of all, let us see index.jsp. What my index.html, I have created two hyperlinks. ahref is equal to view all student. I'm giving the text display all students. So when I click there, it will take me to view all. Second, I have delete student. So when I'm clicking it, it is taking me to get student id.html because we want text box and a delete button. So this is get student id form. Action is delete students.jsp. Taken a text box. Input type is equal to text and the name is text id. And submit button with the label delete student. Look at the view all. When I want to use the driver manager dot get connection method, or class dot forename is a method, or execute query, all these are the methods, right? I need to import java.sql.star, right? Along with that, I'll put a scriptlet, and inside try and catch block, I'll write all those 5 steps. So try, and then I'm writing class.forename, driver name, establish the connection, class connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection with 3 arguments, where I'm specifying the IP address and the port number and my database. My database name is MU. For your project, if you have created different database, you can write slash and then your database name. I have statement stmt equal to connection dot create statement, and I am writing the query select star from students. Now whatever result is coming, it is inside the result set object. Result set is an interface. We created an object rs, right? And now I want to display it, but as this is the web application, I will display it inside a table of HTML. So I've taken the table with 16, align center, border is 1. Taking the first row, if you look at the output, the first row of output is a static one, only appearing once. These are just a label, simply text we have given. So we have taken first TR with the 4 TDs with displays student ID, student name, department, and result. It has to do nothing with the code. This is just for the view. Now we have taken the while loop where we are generating the rows dynamically. This while loop will be executed as many rows are there in your database. If there are 2, it will execute 2 times. If there are 20, then 20 times. If there are 2000, then it will be executed for 2000 times. So we have done TR. First column is SID, which is of type integer. So we are writing out.println TD, and the data which you want to display rs dot get int sid. Over here sid is my column name. Similar way, name and department are of varchar type. If they are of varchar type, I have to write rs dot get string, right? And my result is in float, so I'm writing rs dot get double. Fine. Ultimately, I'm closing the table and I'm closing the connection, which is step number 5 of your JDBC. Fine. If anything goes wrong, such as connection is not established, we'll have the exception, which we are printing in the catch block. Okay. This is about the static query. Now, for delete student, we want to delete the students whose ID is entered as an text SID in the text box, text SID. So in delete students, again we will write import java.sql.star, and we will read the value of the text box. So we are reading request.get parameter txt SID, right? Because it is coming as a string, and SID is my primary key of integer type in my database. So I need to convert it into the integer. So I'm saying integer.parseInt. And now it is available in the local variable SID. Inside a try and catch block, again we are performing. First 2 are common as we discussed previously, but from step 3 onwards, we will have the dynamic query. So we will take prepared statement. We created object PS. From student where SID, right? So value entered by user is in local variable SID, right? So I'm writing prepared statement object PS dot. PS is what? PS is an object of prepared statement which is holding this query. And this query is having one placeholder, question mark, which will be field runtime. So I'm saying for the first question mark, if there are 2, then we will write 2 times the setter method. In case of your insert, suppose in your database of a product, you have 5 columns. So you will take 5 question marks. In that case, you will have to write the setter method for 5 times. So we are writing, okay, I'm sharing my screen. Don't worry. I know the connection gone.
the second one, the connection of the database common.
Can be?
Can we make the common file?
You can.
How?
You can make a common file.
How?
Yes.
How?
Okay. You will make a, Java file, or you can make a JSP file, where in a scriptlet you are writing those two steps and you are saying data source.jsp. So next time when you are executing this, you just include it over here. We have included.
In the JSP file, I have to make the function.
You can make a function, yes.
I tried that, but it is not working.
I'll see it later and will guide you. But it is possible to do. So, થાય એવી રીતે તમે ઓનલાઈન પ્રોજેક્ટ્સ જેટલા જોશો રેફરન્સ પ્રોજેક્ટ્સ ફ્રોમ ધી યુટ્યુબ ઓર some blogs, they will do that. Data source will be a separate file, and then you can call that method inside your code with the help of include tag. Page directive is having the include attribute. Do you recall that? So when you are saying include, it will take it there.
No, if I have to access that method, how could I access?
You can include. When you are including it, it will come in like no. આખી ફાઇલ જ આવી જાય ને. You see here, I have this include action.jsp. I am saying
આમાં એરર બી નથી આવતી ઈ ફાઇલોને બે કનેક્ટ
તો ચાલવું જોઈએ. We'll see that.
અહીંયાથી કનેક્શન હું કોલ કરું તો એમાં જ
શું કહે છે એરર શું
એરર દેખાય ત્યાં
anyway, so you can include that. You can make a connection there. Now I am talking about the delete query. As delete is the DML query, what we will do is we have taken a prepare statement, we set it, and now we are saying ps.execute update, and the result will be an integer variable, so we will be using it. We said if there is problem in delete, it will say 0 row deleted, otherwise it will say 1 row deleted. If multiple conditions are matched up, it will delete multiple. In the case of that, if the query is executed successfully with certain deletion, the delete result will be greater than what I'm doing, and then you can go with that. You can give a result set is the scrollable, right? Do you know that, right? Result set is scrollable, so we can give the absolute and relative row number, and it will go to that particular row number. We can take the total count of the column. If you want to go with the pagination of 10, just put the logic how to divide the entire total available into the pages, and then you can pass that as an rs dot absolute. When you are saying rs dot absolute, it will go to that particular record. Fine. So that is possible. Pagination is possible in JSP. Okay, so this is how we can delete the record. Right? If record is deleted, we are displaying the table again. But suppose record deletion is not happening. It means that there's some issue in the delete query, such as before few minutes we tried to delete the record number 1, which was not there. In that case, I put the else part with the message problem in delete. Please re-enter SID. And we said ahref is equal to get sid.html. So click here, it will take you to the back get sid.html, and you can re-enter the student ID. So this is how JSP prepared statement. In JSP, prepared statement and the statement objects can be executed. Any doubt, any query? Anyone? Those who are online? Those who are online? Any doubt, any query? Should I move further? Alright. Now I'm discussing one point which is very much important. That is about, I guess, Sowlet's JDBC connectivity we are done or leftover. Same things you can do in the Sowlet, and when you are doing the same thing in the Sowlet, the entire code remains the same, but instead of JSP, we are going to write it inside the service method of your Sowlet. So we'll make delete Sowlet and all. Delete Sowlet will make view all Sowlet, and then we can take our code over there. So look at here. This is your JDBC Sowlet JDBC program. I have index.html, which is having the same code, to hyperlink, but this time instead of JSP, the hyperlinks are taking us to Sowlet, right? And to delete, we are taking the input, so get sid.html, and then inside the source package, we have defined those two Sowlet. In default package, select all and delete. In delete, we have to import. There we were writing page directive, and then we were writing the import. Here we have to write as in Java, core Java style import. And then inside the try catch block, again you can put the query. So everything is the same unless, except if delete result is greater than 0, you said record deleted successfully. And then here we wrote the statement object and that code again. Instead of that, you can use request dispatcher, and you can redirect user request to the select all. So no need to repeat all these steps. Instead, you can use the RD request dispatcher dot include method, and then it will be done. Same for the problem. If problem in deletion, we are redirecting user to get student ID using request dispatcher include method. Fine. So this is your practical of JDBC Sowlet connectivity. Rest of the discussion remains the same.
Can you run this better?
Sure. Sowlet JDBC program we are running. Sowlet JDBC. Request dispatcher ma same as मैं तन कीधु तुम message. When I say select all, it will go here. This time I have not given the border equal to 1, so it is displaying as without border. Okay. And now if I delete, this is delete get sid.html. When I click on delete, it says record this deleted successfully. And this is from view all Sowlet. But it is showing you the delete Sowlet because you redirected it over the server. So client side, it shows the URL same.
Wrong ID, invalid ID.
Still it shows the get Sowlet, but actually it is get sid.html. Fine. So this was your Sowlet practical number 4. Sorry, 3 or 4 it was there in Sowlet. So it was pending, so I covered. Now JSP action tags are done, include and forward. Webma. Those who are online, are we done with the include and forward? Guys, can we be quick so that I can have the idea what is done and what is pending? Anyways, we are talking about the practical 5 and 6, which is include and forward action. Now, what is request dispatcher include and forward method does? Can you tell me what include? Yeah, one more thing. When you are writing this JSP and JDBC connectivity program in Servlet and JSP, don't forget to add the library. Right click and add a library. You have to add JDBC connector, JDBC MySQL connector connection driver. Click on the add library. It will add this jar, MySQL connector. Fine. Suppose someone wants to work with the Oracle. So it is not given. If you right click on the library and you search about the Oracle, it is not given. So what you can do is you can download it from the internet, right? You can download it from the internet. I'm saying download MySQL, download SQ Oracle connector, Oracle JDBC connector jar file. Fine. And when you do so, you will have various links from that. Java 2S is the better because it is having the simplest UI. You can download this zip. You can unzip it and keep it somewhere. I have on my screen, on my desktop. Right, I have extracted over there. What I can do is I can create a database in Oracle, and now to connect my JSP file with the Oracle, instead of second option, I will go with the third option, add jar. And I'll select the jdbc.oracle jar. I'll click on open, it will be added. And now by changing just this argument, instead of MySQL, we need to write Oracle driver and the URL will be changed. Rest of the things remains the same. You can do that code. Fine. Now we are moving to the 5th and 6th practical, which is JSP, include and forward action. Can anyone tell me the difference? Request dispatcher include and forward method. Can you see this? Suppose user sends a request for a resource, and if this resource is using the forward method, it will send user to second resource. And when user is being sent to the second resource, the response of second resource will be given back to user. When it is include method, if user sends request for first resource, and if that resource is sending user to second resource using include method, response of the second resource will be included in the response of first resource, and the combined response, which is the final response of outcome of resource 1 and 2 together, will be given to the end user. This is how request dispatcher include method works. Now I'm saying that in JSP we can achieve this functionality by writing the action tag. We have action tag include and forward, and using that you can achieve this functionality. So now to achieve this functionality, I am working on two different files, that is index.jsp and second.jsp. Let me open that. So in web pages folder, I have two files, index.jsp and second.jsp. So index.jsp is my first resource, and when user runs it, it is actually the first request for that. Suppose for the first time we are using JSP colon format. So if you look at the entire code, if you look at the entire code, what we have over here is we have used jaldi 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 you. Just a second, guys. My battery is running out of charge. Just a second, students. My system is starting. Guys, I think my screen is visible now. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, we were talking about the Asian tags, right? And I was discussing that in this practical, we are going to use two files, index.jsp, where I'm going to use the forward and include tag, action tags. So I was talking like, let us talk about index.jsp. If you look at the structure of my index.jsp, inside the body, I have returned few tags. We can look at the first line. What I have is h1 tag before. This is HTML tag, which is mentioned inside index.jsp. And then I have returned JSP colon forward, right? And I'm saying page is equal to second.jsp. So it will take me from index.jsp to second.jsp. Then I have mentioned JSP colon param, which is to mention the parameters, username and department. So we say JSP parameter username, user underscore name, value is taru. JSP colon param, department, we said value is equal to IT, right? And if I don't want to pass the parameter, then instead of taking the paired JSP action tag, this is in pair, starting and ending, I can go with the singular one. I can mention JSP colon forward, right? I can mention the page, whatever it is, right? And I can close it here. So you can go with either this one when you want to pass the parameter, or you can go with this one, which is the singular one. Fine? Is it clear? Right? Now, we are going to use the first one because I want you to know how to access those parameters. So we have h1 tag, which says before. Then we wrote JSP colon forward, which is taking us to second.jsp along with two variables, username and department, having the value Taru, Bloch and IT. And then again we have h1 tag of HTML, which is having the text the message. I said h one second user name, and I'm reading the username as it is the parameter output stream. So I'm writing request as an implicit object dot the method get parameter, and finally I'm taking user to the next record. I'm sharing my screen. Sorry? What's your name? Nishar. Nish. Mishal is saying that it will be giving us the second.jsp. Anyone else want to say anything? Why it will give a second.jsp? Because of the JSP colon forward, and we learn JSP colon forward is same as your request dispatcher forward method. What it does is, when user sends request for resource 1, and if resource 1 is using guys, I know that screen share has gone. Just a second. Can you see the outcome? Right? This is second.jsp with the h1 title second page and received parameters username request.get parameter Taru and department request.get parameter department, which is IT. Now suppose I'm changing it. This was practical 5, practical 6 says include. So instead of forward, if I write include, what could be the output? Can anyone guess the output? If I write include. So what will be the output? We have a certain code line in index.jsp, and then we include the content of,
Before
So second output also and after it also.
right? So Mishal and Anand is saying that when we will run this, it will include h1, then it will give us content of second.jsp, and then again the content of
Which one?
index.jsp. So this will be the output. We'll have the before and after text in the output. Fine, right? So look at here. This was with forward, where the before and after the code line of index.jsp was not given. Even this is the output of second.jsp. It is giving me index.jsp for you. When we use request dispatcher or action tag forward and include, the URL in the top does not change. You can see here. This is index.jsp, which is with the output of index.jsp as before and after, and these lines are from second.jsp. Clear? This is practical 5 and 6. Now we are moving to the next discussion, which is your practical 12, and practical 12 says demonstrate the use of tag handler class. This is very much important question from the mid and final exam point of view. If I am the examiner, I will definitely ask this, right? But I'm not the only examiner. So make sure that you study everything, right? Otherwise, like me, and people will say, "Ma'am, what you said and what was this?" Fine. So we're talking about tag handler class. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by tag? Have you studied it? Do you know anything about the custom tag? Do you know anything about the custom tag? Now look at here. When I'm saying GSP, We know that JSP is scripting language. And the second one are custom tag. Now this you can compare like your
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
this you can compare with the methods or functions which are library functions and user defined functions. For example, in your C and so you were right include math.h, right? And you could use the hello everyone, are you getting my voice?
Yes.
Okay. So you're getting right now. Let me try one more time. So we were discussing about built-in functions of C and C++, or you can say built-in method of core Java. What we do in that, we have certain library, we import it or we include in C and C++, and we use the methods. Similar way, we said JSTL is giving the built-in tag. And if JSTL is giving the built-in tag, what you can do is you can use them directly. But suppose you want to create your own tag. The way in C and C++ you create your own method, user defined functions, if you recall, you would have created your own functions, right? And in Java you can create your own methods. Similar way, if you want to create your own tag, giving you very simple example, suppose there is no tag which is named as a simple. Is there any tag in C, JSP or HTML which is named as a simple, right? There is no tag which is named as simple. So if I want to create a simple tag which will give me certain message like hello from custom tag, this should be the effect of the simple tag, hello from custom tag. You know very well, right? When you're writing B and you're writing certain text in it, it gives in it, right? This will be in a bold. Fine. If you have applied italic, right, in the fine, yes or no? And if you are using U, that is for underline. It will give you the underline in your text. Similar way, it's like this tag's effect is applied to the particular code. So there is code behind it to do this thing. Fine. So similar way, when you have your own tag, you have to give the meaning what it will do. What it will do. For example, if I'm saying that if I have a tag named as simple, it should display me certain message. So I should write the code. Usually, these are having the two categories in language. One we call singular, which comes single. For example, BR. For example, input type is equal to text. Right? This is singular type. For example, Anand is saying image. Right? We write SRC. We write SRC is equal to, and we will give the source. It is IMG, right? Fine, and so on. Some tags will be coming in a pair. We call it as a paired tag. Paired tag. Body slash body. Yes or no? Div tag. Then form slash form. Right? Form slash form. Such way. So I'm saying that if you want to develop your own tag, there is facility in JSP. I'm sharing my screen, don't worry. There is facility in the JSP. क्या रहे थे
क्या
बोलता क्या web application. I said demo, right? I'm choosing the server, giving next and finish. Now, here in the projects, in the web INF file, I will create new. Go to other, and you have to create the TLD, tag library descriptor. So here is the option. Can you see this? TLD, right? I'll give next. I will click on the next, and then it will ask me the name of my tag library, right? I am saying my tag library. My tag library. What it will do is, it will create inside web-inf folder another folder which is named as TLDS, and under it will create the tag library descriptor. So as it is a will give the prefix, and we know that P is prefix for code. And if you want to give prefix for your tag, let us say I'm giving prefix M, it will allow me to use a tag with M colon symbol, right? So I'll click on finish, and it will create the TLD file. I click on the finish, and it has created the TLD file. So I repeat again, to develop the custom tag, you require tag library descriptor, which is an XML file. So you can go to the web INF, you can right click over there, and you can choose the web from that tag library descriptor, and you can give the name. It will create a folder. It will create a folder. TS is the folder, and under that it has created my tag library.tld file. Now you can see here there are comments given. I'm just removing those comments, and it is describing your file, or you can say the library. You can see here it says we have first line as an XML, second is tag library. In that it is giving the version as is created first time, it is version 1.0. Short name, which is prefix for your tags, and the URI, the path where your tag library has been so saved. Now if I'm creating the tag, I can have the tag as an to describe my simple tag. And if this is software company, there will be multiple tag. So if I have more than one tag, as many tags as I have designed the custom tags, that many time tag will be appear in your tag library descriptor. Now this is describing just your library. What are the tags? What are the custom tag? But to create the custom tag, you need tag handler class. So what you will do is, inside the source package, you could have some package, and let us say I have created a package com or whatever, and then I'm creating the tag handler class. So I'll go to the web, right click new, go to the web, choose the tag handler, right? Giving next. Tag handler is a Java class. So I'm saying my tag handler, which will allow me to create certain .java file, which will be extended for creating the singular tag, then using simple tag support. And if I want to go with the pad tag creation, pad custom tag, then I can go with the body tag support. So this class is given in Java x.servlet.jsp.text extension.body tag support, or it will be Java x.servlet.jsp.tag extension.simple tag support. Right now we are focusing on the simple tag support. When I will give next, it will ask me to add the details in TLD. My tag library dot TLD is my web XML file. It will handle it there. So it says that specify the tag library descriptor. I'll click on the browse. I will choose the one which we created. Give select file. Now it has selected that, and it is creating a tag. So I can give the tag name over here simple. Simple is my tag name. Are you getting? In tag library descriptor, we said short name M. Now we are saying the tag name simple. So when I want to use it in my JSP file, I'll create M colon simple. And when I'm doing M colon simple, tag name simple is handled by tag handler class my tag handler. So it will go there and it will execute this class. Okay, you can add the attributes if you want. Like when I say input tag, we have type as an attribute and value is text. So you can add the attributes by clicking new, and you can specify the name and the way it accepts the data, right? And you can choose required, which is must, you must specify, or you can have optional. For example, for image SRC is compulsory, alter is optional, right? So we're not taking it right now. Just click on finish. When you will finish this, it will make new entry of tag inside your TLD. Tag name simple, tag class, tag handler, and body content is scriptlessness. Fine. And now my tag handler class is designed, which is extended from simple tag support, as we are going with the singular tag. So in simple tag support and body tag support class is having one built-in method which is known as do tag. The signature is public void do tag throws JSP exception. What you have to do is you have to overwrite it. Right? And with the help of JSP writer, you can write, or you can append the new content in your tag handler class. So you can see here the outcome, or code. Can you see this? This is my tag handler. Extends a simple tag support. So here we have Java x.servlet.jsp.tag extension, simple tag support, JSP exception and IO exception. JSP do tag throws IO exception and JSP exception. We are writing JSP.get context. It will get the context or handle of your JSP container. It says get out, so it is taking, it's a method name. Get out, right? It's a method name which is taking the output stream method handle to that. And now I'm saying append. So now in the JSP file where I have used that tag m colon simple, I would have some inside the body. I would have some text. For example, sample text before custom tag. I did a new line. Now I'm saying here append. So that is got the context and output stream. So output of that line will be appended or merged with this output. Look at the code. Hello from simple tag handler. So this will be appended there. Fine. So after that we have simple tag. After the custom, these are some text which I have simply given. So when I run this, when m colon simple comes, it has to identify from where to get the meaning. So we need to write less than percentage taglib, specify the URI webinf/tld/mytags.tld. This is running example. So I have given the name of tld as mytags.tld. I said prefix m. So whenever m colon something comes, it will go to the mytags.tld, which is there in the webinf TLDS folder, and here we will see the tag name simple, the handler is com.my tag handler. So in the source package we have com package, in that we have my tag handler, which is having the do tag method getting overridden, and then we are appending it. So when I run this JSP, it will merge that, or it will call the do tag method, and the output will be appended here. Is there any question or doubt? Append no liquid, so there should be some other method to send those text here.
એટલે આનો યુઝ ખાલી આપણે કંઈ બી કન્ટેન્ટ લેવા માટે
કન્ટેન્ટ લેવા માટે થાય. એટલે તમે શું કરી શકો? આ સિમ્પલ એક્ઝામ્પલ આપ્યું છે. સપોઝ યુ વોન્ટ ટુ ડુ લાઈક કે there is no tag which is giving you current date and time. Is there any tag in HTML? No, right? Not even in JSP. So what you can do is you can create a tag which is named as today, right? And you can create this tag handler class. Now when you're writing this tag handler class, what you will do is you will create an object. You will create an object of date, and you will attach it over there, because we know that java.util.date, and when I'm saying date today is equal to new date, it will give me current date and time. So that object I should give back to my JSP. So what I need is I need JSP writer. I need JSP writer. So if I'm using the JSP writer, I can use JSP writer's method, whatever methods are there in JSP writer. Can you recall some method of JSP writer? Out.println. Out is JSP writer object, right? You can go with such methods which are available there, and using those methods you can call that particular class. But right now the entire thing is in flow, so we said append, because તમે output stream માં શું કરવાના છો? Whatever is the outcome there, in between you are writing the text, you are appending the string. So output stream is sequence of bytes which are going from your JSP page to the client. So when it was like first static text, then you appended it, and then again the static texts are coming. So this is what we are getting in the output. So that's why we wrote append. We are adding the string over there.
કંઈક સ્ટાઇલ અપ્લાય કરવી હોય તો એ તો
કરી શકાય. Suppose you want to apply the bold type.
એ પછી વાંચીને જ કરવાનું JSP.
અહીંથી
બહુ કે હોય અંદર એટલે મેઇન તો આનું કામ તો ખાલી અપેન્ડ કરવાનું.
No, not 30. There could be like તમે આમાં શું કરી શકો? મેજર વસ્તુ કેવી હોય ખબર કે કસ્ટમ ટેગ કરો ને તો આખી અપેન્ડ કર્યું, પણ એની પહેલાં તમારે યુ હેવ ટુ મર્જ સર્ટેન અધર એક્સ્ટ્રા ફેસિલિટી ઓલ્સો. ઇન શોર્ટ તમે ક્યાં તો આ સ્ટ્રિંગને ટ્રીટ કરીને અપેન્ડ કરાવો, અથવા JSP રાઇટર ઓબ્જેક્ટથી આમાં રાઇટ થાય છે, બીકોઝ યુ સી ધ કોડ. વોટ વી આર ડુઈંગ ઇઝ કે JSP ગેટ કોન્ટેક્ટ ગેટ આઉટ, રાઈટ? હવે તો આ JSP ગેટ કોન્ટેક્ટ છે ને, દેટ ઇઝ ધી મેથડ ઓફ JSP રાઇટર. So JSP writer માં એક બીજો object છે out, implicit object out. You can write out or dot, and then whatever methods are there, you can implement those methods. બોલ્ડ આવી રીતે ડાયરેક્ટ અપ્લાય નથી થતું, એટલે તમે છે ને અહીંયા હજુ બીજું પણ કસ્ટમ ટેગ અપ્લાય કરી શકો. બટ યુઝ્યુઅલી ફ્રેન્કલી સ્પીકિંગ HTML સ્ટાઇલિંગ અપ્લાય કરવા માટે this is not, because એના માટે તો CSS અને XLS છે. XML સ્ટાઇલિંગ શીટ અને CSS કાસ્કેડિંગ સ્ટાઇલ શીટ, જે તમે HTML CSS માં ભણો છો. આનો યુઝ ક્યાં છે? સપોઝ કે તમારી કોઈ વેબ એપ્લિકેશન, યુ હેવ સમ વેબસાઇટ ડેવલપમેન્ટ કંપની. We know that login is very common functionality, and what would be there in the login? One text box, one password box, one submit button, everything in a form. as well. Remember me checkbox and forgot password link. So these all are together always, right? As well, we know that login check is also common. Login check is also common. Select star from table where username is equal to text box 1 and password is equal to password box. आज ये आखिरी वस्तु है ना, making all the contents together. There's no tag which is known as login. So you can create your login tag. That is the users. And this is common functionality is now there as a your tag. So you can directly call it and use it.
એટલે એમાં જ આખું form bind કરતા.
આખું form. Any doubt, any query? So it's already 11:25, so we're not moving further. But if you have any question, you can ask a query. Mostly this is the last lab. So what I will do is I'll check offline with you people. If required, we will take extra lab for AJP. So interested students can contact me.